presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck.
Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound. Up and in. 1.4 to go.
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field, back toward the wall. Gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
Second down and 4. Ward with a snap. Intercepted! Touchdown, Mace Funa! Mace Funa jumps up and picks it out of the air, and Oregon has just sealed this football game. How about that? Yeah.
Whoa!
Excuse me, but I'm a little excited.
Did he have stickum on those fingers? What was that? Bravo, radio gold from Jerry and Jorgie. Better gold from Mace Funa and the Ducks. A dramatic comeback win. The Ducks scored 29 points in the fourth quarter. And in a game clock span of about a little less than 3 minutes, Oregon scored 22 points. Impressive day for the Ducks, and man, it was an interesting ball game. A game that was not going well early. Felt like the Ducks just couldn't punch one in. Felt like they couldn't get those points that they desperately needed. And then they were able to open up the floodgates a little bit there at the end. Did it with a little bit of defense, and quite the ball game for the Ducks. Your Facebook comments and questions. Your YouTube comments and questions. Any other comments and questions? I think a lot of people, myself included, are still on the up. And now, as the Ducks were practicing inside the Machowski Center this morning, I think a chance to flip that page today. So all of us, we're going to recap it. Don't worry. We're going to go through it in detail. We're going to get you all the nitty-gritty that you need from the big win at Washington State. 1-0 in Pac-12 play. Dan Lanning's first career Pac-12 win as the head coach. But I know now we got to turn our attention to an 8 o'clock kickoff against Stanford. And quickly, some news. Kickoff for Arizona. Oregon's football game at Arizona on Saturday, October 8th. Will kick off at 6 p.m. Pacific time and will be broadcast on Pac-12 Network. Conference announced that today, of course, with a 6 o'clock game at Arizona. It's a 4 o'clock pregame for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Ducks are now number 13 in the polls. They're 3-1 and 1-0 in Pac-12 play. That 44-41 comeback win at Washington State. Let's go through it. Opening drive. Saw a big flea flicker for Washington State, and we didn't know it at the time, but it really demonstrated how much creativity the offensive playbook was going to have from Washington State. They showed it on the first drive. Ducks, answering after that opening drive touchdown, had to kick a field goal. Next time down, defense bent, didn't break, field goal made it 10-3. And I want to go through and tell you just how this kind of ping-pong back and forth, okay? The next Duck drive, Oregon got it going, it felt like, with the screen game. Washington State defense, again, held in the red zone. Field goal, and you're going, man, Ducks are moving the ball, but settling for field goals. So it's 6-10. Ducks forced a punt on the next drive. Officials made a mistake, and we had to rewind to the previous series. Raise your hand if you had ever had that happen or seen that happen in a football game before. I'd never seen that happen before. So I was up in the booth, and Jerry and Jorgie are calling the game. And the Pac-12, by the way, did indicate that, yeah, there was a mistake. They made an announcement about it. And, look, it happens. And so the Ducks ended up, though, after all this, like we basically had to erase a couple plays from history. And Oregon actually ended up with better field position because they had to punt anyway. Washington State did. I don't know. It was just an oddity within the game. It was a real oddity within the game. So it was Duck ball after that. Started with a nice run by Bucky Irving, and that felt like when Bucky Irving started to get it going. A really great day from Bucky Irving. Ducks even used a throwback to the quarterback to put a Washington State blitzer on his heels. I loved that creativity from Kenny Dillingham. Ducks went on 4th down at the WSU 11, completed it to Sean Dollars. Then, very similar play, Bo Nix threw a pick to the right side, taken back to the end zone for a score, and suddenly you're going, oh no, like Oregon is moving the ball. Everything's going well, and then that makes it 6-17. And then yet again, Oregon had to settle for a field goal. Suddenly at 17-9, Washington State has the lead as we approach the end of the first half. It really felt like Oregon could have been up big at halftime, and that's how things were going. And it was just like, God, they just need to get that breakthrough moment. You're waiting for it. It just feels like they're gaining so many yards. It had to happen, right? It had to happen. Ultimately, it did. We'll get to that in a moment. So the second half, continuing with the recap, the second half for the Ducks gets a big play to Chris Hudson. Really nice swing pass to Bucky Irving for the score. Ducks went for 2, didn't get it, so the score sat at 17-15. Next drive, Washington State ran a trick play where Ward faked, looked to the sideline, defense relaxed as the ball was snapped, receiver went up the sideline, would have been for a score were it not for the receiver stepping out at the 11. Ducks ended up holding for a field goal, and it was 20-15. Another one. You guys ever seen that before? Because I'll be honest, I have seen it before. And I'm actually surprised that more teams don't run a play like that. So what's going on there is Ward's doing, the clap cadence or whatever your cadence might be. He's clapping, saying, and then it's like a fake out, right? He looks toward sideline. Defense kind of relaxes. Then the ball's hiked. Receiver streaking up the sideline, put it over the top. Defense gets lulled a little bit. I'm actually surprised we don't see more of those kinds of plays, truthfully. Maybe we will now, but you know that the Ducks are going to see that on film now, and they're going to be ready for it. Big, though, that he stepped out of bounds 11. And this is what's so amazing in a game like this, how so many little things can add up to a victory. So if he doesn't step out at the 11-yard line, another example, this might be a different game. We might be having a different conversation instead of a dramatic comeback. It might not have been as fun for Duck fans. Those little things can all matter. Ducks got stopped next drive. Penalty on a punt gave Washington State an extra 15 yards. Then a penalty on an incomplete pass. Ducks spotted the Cougars 30 yards on that drive, ran some creative plays, scored to go up 27-15. Oregon needed to answer. They did answer. Jordan James, the short yardage man, able to score. It's 27-22. Ducks then picked a ball after a close review. Chance for a big drive, and the Ducks went 3-and-out. Ducks are one of the best teams in the nation, by the way, at not going 3-and-out. In fact, top 15 nationally heading into last week at not going 3-and-out. The way you track that is the amount of 3-and-outs per possessions. Oregon was one of the best in the country. So seeing that, especially in that moment, it was like, gosh, just nothing. It feels like, again, just can't break through. Nothing's getting going. Cameron Ward then on the next Cougar drive, a tremendous underhand pass while falling down. And I just want to take a moment to say, you know what? Ward was really fun to watch, and he was really good. Tip your cap to Cameron Ward. That was just a great play. On 4th down, Ward escaped and kept that drive alive with yet another tremendous play. DJ Johnson made a hard tackle, was called for targeting. I thought it was a tough call. Then got a stop on a long 3rd down, the Ducks did, but a roughing the passer penalty kept the Washington State drive alive. Ended up being a Cougar touchdown with 6:42 to go. It's 34-22, and I think all of us are just like, man, penalties, a couple mistakes. Washington State was taking advantage. So the Ducks were able, though, to pass it downfield. And I got to say, I thought that this might have been the play of the game. There's a lot of these. And I know, Troy Franklin's catch for the touchdown to go ahead. Mace Funa's interception. Those are going to be remembered. But I want everybody to think back to when Oregon was down by 12. It's 34-22. Ducks have the ball. It's 4th down. And Bo Nix throws an absolute dart to Bucky Irving, who made a great catch. And I mean a great catch on 4th down. Nix then was able to rush one in. It got reversed after the review. Next play was a pass to Cam McCormick, and the Ducks are back in this thing. It's 34-29. But just remember that play. And again, Receiver doesn't step out at the 11. Ducks end up holding to a field goal there instead of it being a touchdown. That's a big play. Bucky Irving converting that fourth down with the pass from Bo Nix. That's a big play. Those things start to add up. Oregon's not going away. With 3:48 to play, the Ducks needed to stop, and they got it in 3. Washington State had to punt with 2:44 to go. Drive started at the 31-yard line, and Oregon scored quick. And I kind of felt like, gosh, maybe this was too quick. You know, we're all in the back of our minds having that fear, right? Big completion to Troy Franklin that scored a touchdown. You're going to hear it coming up in a moment. Ducks went for 2. Bo Nix scored. So it's 37-34 with 1:21 left. Washington State has the ball with 2 timeouts. Ducks are in the lead for the first time, it feels like, in forever, and maybe it's going to work out. Then Mace Funa took it to the house. You heard the pick to start the show. It's 44-34. Cameron Ward throws a 60-yard bomb that led to a score. It's 44-41. Oh, it's not over yet. Everyone's a little nervous. Everyone's kind of sitting on pins and needles. But 44-41 was the final. And wow, what a game. I'm sure some of you saw the win probability percentages. I don't know how ESPN tracks these things. I don't know if it even matters. But I saw the highest for the Cougs was at 98.1%. That was ESPN's win probability. It was 98.1%. Man, what a game. There's more to say, but I'm going to let Jerry and Jorgie take it from here. And actually, the game recap, Jared started it with some of my comments in the pregame show, and I don't know how I feel about that. I just need Jerry and Jorgie in my life right now. It's a prove-it game for Oregon because Oregon needs to be able to do it on the road. I thought they proved some things at home against Eastern Washington and BYU. Now the Ducks need to prove that they can take Duck football on the road and be successful.
Look what he does to me. Look me deep in my eyes. You really want to go and stare with me? How can I make you better? But I break your bones and I make you fed up. Break no sweat. I'm a different dog since I fought my devils. I aim for the heart. I give him my all. I'm throwing a shot. I'm hitting a
It's rolling out and looking long. He got him. He's got a wide open Chris Hudson. Hello, how do you do?
shutting them up. We running the show. Turning it up.
Wants to throw again. Swing it out. Going to be a walk-in touchdown, Oregon. Bucky Irving.
I'm ready to shine. The beast over there. I'm letting it out.
Nix giving up, and it looks like a touchdown. It is to me. Jordan James. Throws the inside slant. Ball might have come loose. They're giving ball to Oregon. Interception, Oregon. Turn, keeps, throws to the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Cam McCormick.
Turn up. I need a spot on the podium. Retrieving the crowd of Arizona. Bringing the heat like a sauna. I would have been like a llama.
Deep over the middle. Got him open. Can he get free on his feet? He does. Franklin scores.
Touchdown, Ducks. 50 yards.
Ward with a snap. Intercepted! Touchdown, Mace Funa! Mace Funa jumps up and picks it out of the air. And Oregon has just sealed this football game. Oregon has beaten Washington State the hard way, but get it done. What a game, what a finish, and what a feeling.
Oh, man, it was a good game, but more gray hairs, blood pressure's high. Man, tip your cap to the Ducks. So many of those individual moments throughout a game that can really add up to a victory. And I felt like Oregon, with the amount of total yards the Ducks had, and they were almost going to not win the game. It was crazy. I mean, Oregon was at 624 total yards. And the Ducks ended up winning by 3 points. And they outgained Washington State 624 to 416. I mean, it was an impressive deficit, but 29 fourth quarter points. Bo Nix was really good. Now, you'll hear from him with Jorgie coming up on the post-game show in a moment. The thing that he's going to remember is that he threw the one interception. That's the kind of guy that he is. He was 33 of 44 for 428 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. That's like a career day for Bo Nix. 174.7 rating. By the way, Bucky Irving, don't look now. He was 1 for 1 for 18 yards, a 251.2 quarterback rating. Well done, Bucky Irving, on that one pass. Irving also, though, 11 carries, 81 yards, 7.4 yards per carry. Impressive stuff. Saw a couple people in the comments even mention Chase Cota. Really sure-handed guy. 7 catches for 84 yards, and he did it with one hand, guys. He had that hand all wrapped up. Impressive from Coda. Troy Franklin, though, becoming the big play guy. 5 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown. Bucky Irving had the 1 touchdown catch. Cam McCormick the 1 touchdown catch. And the Ducks really spread the love. Franklin 5 catches. Hudson 5 catches. Irving 5 catches. Ferguson 3 catches. And a bunch of guys with 2 and 1. Just an impressive performance. Mistakes cost you. We saw that early in this game. Resulted in being down at the half. Could have been down by more. Costly penalties in the second half. Made it really difficult to come back. Got to finish those drives with touchdowns and not field goals. All those things are true, and Oregon still won the game. There's still a chance for improvement here for the Ducks. Troy Franklin's a big play guy. Bo Nix was really poised down the stretch. That was something that stuck out to me. He was really poised down the stretch. Never give up. I should have had Scott pull the Galaxy Quest line of never give up, never surrender for the show. Maybe Scott can have it for us by the end of the show today, because that's kind of how it felt. This was a fun game, and there's still a lot more in the tank. Yards didn't always equal points, so capitalizing on those drives. Only team in the nation, the Ducks, that have not allowed a sack this season. Adrian Clem, Oregon offensive line coach, going to be on the pregame show with Terry Johns coming up this weekend. Man, really, really impressive stuff. When we come back, Dan Lanning, Bo Nix, postgame. Their thoughts. Big win for the Ducks on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Dan Lanning, Bo Nix coming up post-game. Mace Funa has been named the Pac-12 Defensive Lineman of the Week. You make a play like that, and, I mean, it makes sense, right? Sealing the game. Funa is the second honoree in as many weeks for the Ducks. Defensive end Brandon Dorless named the Pac-12 Co-Defensive Lineman of the Week last week. First career Pac-12 weekly honor for Mace Funa. Congratulations to Mace Funa. That 27-yard pick six, that sealed it. A lot to take away from this game. It's hard to digest it all right after the game, which, by the way, Dan Lanning will meet with the media tonight. We'll have that press conference for you on the show tomorrow, so come on back for that. But Dan Lanning post-game talking with Mike Jorgensen, you can imagine that's a happy coach in the locker room.
What do you say about that? That was, whew.
I haven't been a part of a lot of games like that. That's our DNA trait game, you know. And there were moments in this game where we lacked discipline. There's moments in this game where we lacked composure, and it almost hurt us, but our DNA traits showed up at the end. Our connection, our toughness, our growing through moments of adversity in that game, right? And then our sacrifice, our willing to fight there at the end. You know, I told the offense right before they went down there to score on that last drive, I said, guys, this is just 2 minutes on Thursday. It's 2 minute Thursday practice, and they went and executed and did a great job.
Overcame a lot of just self-inflicted mistakes. I mean, the just was unbelievable. And even when you made what felt like a good play, it would be a flag, you know, of a targeting or whatever it might be. But just to think of what you guys overcame, what was your message to the team in there after the game?
Well, I told them I can't wait to get back to work. There's a lot of things that we can certainly improve on, and they share that sentiment, right? But overall, I'm so proud to be these guys' coach because they never buckled, they never wavered, they were ready to go work, and they just knew we just needed a couple more seconds left on that clock to go finish.
When I go back to the start of the game, I think about the way that you guys responded right off the bat. Washington State drives down for a touchdown. You answer with a field goal. The last thing you wanted to do, and you mentioned it, touchdowns versus field goals doesn't work in the long run very well, and it didn't. But your team continued to overcome it and respond. Yeah, we hurt ourselves early by not capitalizing in the red area on offense, and then obviously we didn't play well defensively. We got to play better. There's no other way to slice it. You know, they took advantage of some plays on us, and we got to do a better job there. That being said, when we get to the ball in the red area, we got to go score touchdowns, and we didn't do that at the beginning of the game. We did it at the end, and it was the difference. Offensively, again, your offensive line, tremendous job protecting Bo. Bo's mobility obviously gets him out of some situations too, but to, again, establish a run game. And you said this week to us, you know, you'll take the yards through the air, on the ground, whatever way you get it, but that run game still continues to be a key for you guys. Yeah, I'm proud of our O-line. You know, this was a team that throws a lot of stuff at you, and to walk out of that game unscathed, I don't think we had a sack in this game. To walk out of that game unscathed is it's a tip of the hat to the offensive line. Bo Nix continues to take the leadership role. A lot of leaders on your team, there's no doubt about it. But what he did again today in that type of situation, tough to point at one guy, but that was huge. Yeah, you know, he overcome some adversity there. It can't get any worse than throwing a pick six. Right? That's the hardest thing you're going to do as a quarterback. But to respond to that, give them a touchdown and then turn around and do what he did at the end of the game there, I think that's a big credit to him and the rest of the offense. And when your defense needed to come up with a big play, Mace Funa, I mean, he may be a tight end now. I'm guessing you're going to add another tight end to that side potentially. He didn't hear me. I was yelling, go down. I was ready to kneel it out right then. But, yeah, he went and got the score, did a good job, man. That was a big-time play there. In a game like that, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opposing team, don't you? And Cam Ward, what he did on some plays to keep things alive that can frustrate a defense, they just kept coming and kept coming. Good Washington State team. Oh, I mean, I think you have to give a lot of credit to Coach Dickert. I told him after the game, in a lot of ways, they earned that one, and we snuck away with it there at the end. We had a little bit more time at the end to finish, but they played an outstanding game. We just had a little bit time left on the clock for us to be able to go finish at the end. Well, what a joy to listen through this door to the joy in that locker room and to be able to celebrate. But one day, half day, and then you got to get back to work in a hurry, don't you? Yeah, it's time to go back to work. We're about to go play another really good opponent, and it's a night game, so it's time for us to get back at it. Congratulations, Coach. We'll let you go enjoy it. Thanks for spending time with us, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, Jorgie. I appreciate it.
Jorgie with Coach Lanning. Happy Coach Lanning after a big win like that. And elsewhere on the postgame show, Jorgie also got the chance to talk with Bo Nix. A career day for Bo Nix, despite the pick six. And that tells you something about the poise from the Duck quarterback down the stretch. Mike Jorgensen with Bo Nix after the game.
Man, oh man, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was something, wasn't it? I mean, I'm kind of speechless after that one. Very emotional game. That was one of the tougher games kind of my life, just as far as emotional and mentally. I think it was just tough. They did a really good job, but just as a team, I mean, that was such a big game for us, and it was such a great team win. Literally nobody did it without the help of somebody else, and I mean, praise God. Just so thankful to be in this situation with these guys, and the Lord's very good, that's for sure.
Pretty amazing with you guys, how you have to have such a short memory with the things that went against you. You know, throw you'd love to have back, some penalties that were in key situations, and yet you had such a short memory and came back. And again, just the leadership of the team really pulls you guys together in a situation like that.
Yeah, it does, and I think it goes to our experience. We have a lot of really good experience. A lot of guys have played a lot of ball, and unfortunately, when you take some of those bad plays, you just got to respond to them, and no matter how much you want to go back and change them, you can't really change them. You can only go forward and move on and go do something else. But I mean, it was an incredible team win. I mean, it's just speechless, emotional. It was just an awesome game.
A lot of guys made a lot of plays. I mean, you can go to Franklin, you can go to Bucky Irving, you can go to the plays that you made, you can go to Hudson or whoever else, but the offensive line just continues to open holes, protect you. You use your legs to get out of some situations. Just amazes me what they're doing to establish a run game. You talked about it on Wednesday to us. Be able to run the ball helps out with the ball.
And we did that again, and that's what kept us in the game, because by the end of the game, they're playing the run, and we're able to take some shots, and we're able to throw the ball down the field, and it's something that we finally got to do this week. And, I mean, like you said, you can't name a specific receiver because they all did something. I think probably everybody that got into the game might have had an explosive play from a catch down the field. But like you said, it all starts up front. Those guys are incredible. They're warriors. They battle, they fight like crazy. They really represent our DNA traits as a team, and our offense wouldn't be anything without them.
To get to where you guys want to go, you got to win these road games like this. Tough place to play here, but here's one of them right there.
Yeah, and I think it just shows how good they really were. I think they're a top team in the country. Very good, hostile crowd. Very good, tough defense. It was tough to consistently move the ball against them, but we did it. Key to their defense is once they get you to the red zone, it's just hard to score on them, and that's we've seen that on tape. And until you get in the game, you don't really understand what goes on. But the environment helps, and at the same time, they just are very aggressive team once you get in the red zone, and they make you kick a lot of field goals. And fortunately, that's what kept us in the game. And then at the same time, when we were doing that, our defense was keeping us in the game as well. And then there at the end with that pick six to end the game. I mean, you
got another tight end.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we got guys making plays all over the field, and we just got to obviously consistently kind of stay consistent as far as penalties. We've got to cut those down, but I'm just proud of our team.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a blast. Today was tough. Today was an emotional roller coaster, but there's nothing like the last minute of that game. I mean, you're not going to see a better ending, and you're not going to feel that way in any other type of game. That's just one of those games that's just awesome. And to be honest, it's hard to soak it all in.
I'll bet. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you go because I know a lot of people want to talk to you. Thanks for taking time with us. Congratulations. Big win. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much. Go Ducks.
Great stuff from Bo Nix, Oregon quarterback, with Mike Jorgensen on the postgame show. So there you go. Ducks beat Washington State. Stanford next. 8 o'clock. I know it's a late one, folks. 8 o'clock kickoff. But you know what you have to look forward to? That light show. Download the Go Ducks app. Get ready for that light show, because night games like this, man, I got to tell you, it is one of the coolest things at Autzen Stadium when I look up from the field when Coming Home is playing and everyone's got their phone synced. It is a cool, cool sight. So be a part of that, especially for a night game like this. Also, there's some tickets still available. So I got this note from Jason Harris, the man in charge of tickets. Student tickets are nearly all claimed for Stanford. Well done, students. But there's still a decent amount of public tickets remaining, and they start at just $68 to come and see the 1-0 in Pac-12 play Oregon football team. UCLA, still some tickets available starting at $72. Washington, still available starting at $89. And the Utah game ticket still available starting at $59. GoDucks.com/FBTix to secure tickets. Thanks, fans. You're going to want to be there. When we come back, Oregon volleyball. Oh, man, you want to talk about a big win over Stanford? That's what the volleyball team just did. Also, Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach, going to be with us. More to come on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. All right, so hopefully Oregon volleyball gave us a precursor to a nice win for Oregon football. The Ducks now 8-2 and 2-0 in Pac-12 play. Rallied from behind in the second set, fed off a great crowd of about 4,500 fans at Matthew Knight Arena. It was awesome. A home sweep of the Cardinal, 25-19, 27-25, 25-17. Oregon has 3 straight wins over Stanford for the first time in the series, having now taken 8 straight sets off of one of collegiate volleyball's all-time great programs. Awesome stuff. Ducks out-hit the Cardinal 327 to 250 and had 7 blocks to Stanford's 4. Great environment at Matthew Knight Arena, and awesome turnout and a great win for the Ducks. Brooke Nuneviller, she's pretty darn good, folks. As Oregon moves up to number 16 in the AVCA poll, Brooke Nuneviller talked with the media post-match.
These guys 3 times in a row now won 8 straight sets against them. I mean, obviously their program tradition says a lot. So what does it mean about kind of how much you guys have grown over these last few years to get where you can go toe-to-toe with these guys and even feel like a favorite maybe?
I think we knew we could beat them. I mean, we have the last couple times, but they had some massive wins this season, and they've performed very, very well. And the fact that we came out strong the first set, that was great first set for us, and I'm just most impressed by that second set when we're down, 20-15 and then 21-24. We saved 3 set points. Mimi, our freshman, is back there nailing them on their serve. We have a redshirt for a sophomore, Daly, who gets this massive dig, and we just haven't done that before. Like, we haven't arise to the pressure like that in the past, and we just kept going. Like, it didn't matter the result, and it was such a fun match to play.
Give me a little bit more into that, because that's what I just said to Coach, is that in 2019-2020, that's a set that you guys don't come back from. What was it about this year, this team today, that made that second set a set that you guys do end up winning?
I think our mentality has just shifted, and we've built such a great culture, and we're all in this together. We're in every single point. We're in every rep at practice means something different than it has in the past. And in those moments like that, it's another rep, it's another time. We just got to keep going. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, I've always kind of thought like this. If we don't keep going in that second set, we lose. So, like, what are you going to lose from that? But we ended up winning. We pulled through, and that's going to happen when we keep playing like that.
Wednesday it was Reagan stepping up. Today, Elise and Daly with their service. And Colby had some nice moments up front. As I said to Matt, I'm sure it feels delicate at times, but do you feel like the roster is kind of embracing the idea that any given night anybody could be called upon?
That's been our message this whole season. We have so much depth, and it's so amazing to see different people step in at different times. And if one person's struggling, we have an answer to that. That was kind of something we've been trying to figure out. Like, Mimi's service, even the last game or two, wasn't as good as it has been, but she just she passed great. I don't even know what she passed, but she was amazing back there. And as a freshman, that is so hard to do. Like, I was a freshman libero. They targeted me a lot. I know what it feels like to be back there and passing. And just the fact that we have so many strong minds on our team that are just responding is incredible.
That's Brooke Nuneviller. Awesome stuff, Oregon volleyball. And from one top 25 win to another, Graeme Abel's here.
What's up, my friend?
Ladies and gentlemen, hey. So you set the tone for the weekend. You know that?
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well, hey, it's Oregon, right? Same tone every weekend.
I'm going to enjoy this interview. Graeme Abel is here, Oregon soccer head coach, coming off a win over the Huskies. More coming up. We're going to get a timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Dear gas prices, Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. That says it all. Toyota hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
So Friday begins with Oregon track and field sweeping the Dellinger Invitational. It continues with Oregon soccer beating then number 15 Washington. Graeme Abel, head coach of the Ducks, is here. Then Oregon football came from behind to win a top 25 game against Washington State on Saturday. Then Oregon volleyball swept number 5 Stanford on Sunday.
Which, by the way, what an atmosphere.
Awesome, wasn't it?
So that the first athletic event I ever went to was Oregon basketball, women's basketball versus Colorado, and Matt Knight was rocking, and it was rocking yesterday. That was fun. We had a blast.
That was a good win. So, hey, way to set the tone for the team sports over the weekend. Okay.
Didn't cross country set the tone?
Well, they said it.
Give them credit.
I do. I'm giving them credit. They swept the Invitational.
We just followed them.
But you know, cross country is a little more of an individual sport. Okay, I'm just saying. You set the tone. That was a big win for you guys, huh?
It was good. It was good. You know, we've spoken about, what our team's gone through already in terms of losing players and things like that from week to week. So it was awesome, the performance our kids put out, and it was and I've said this before, and you as a coach, you always look at your identity and things like that, and but that was a proper Oregon soccer performance, fighting, gritty, hanging in there, going toe-to-toe with an opponent. So really proud of our kids.
Take us through a couple of the two, I should say, scoring opportunities. We talk a lot about set pieces.
Yeah.
You took advantage of.
Well, both were from set pieces, really. I mean, Leah had the ball for the first goals, played it long, and good, pressure from Paul Colbert, and she's been able to run onto it and then, get get down to the end line and pull the ball back, and Nate's made a good run near post, and a lot of players would hit that first time. Nate's been able to take a touch and get one-on-one with the keeper, and then add the composure just to slot the thing away. And if you look at her evolution from the start of the season, when she played against New Mexico, she had several chances like that one. Didn't quite have the composure then, and now you look at her 9-10 games later, and now there's that composure. So that's a really good goal there. And
I want to follow up on that one real quick. I mean, talking about composure, is that just experience, or is there more to it than that? How do you get to that point?
Experience, training, showing things through video, and then self-belief as well. She's gaining confidence as well that she can do it at this level, and so it was a really, really good goal for her. And then the second one, again, set piece, great delivery from Chai, keeps it alive. Alice's doing her job on the backside, and then with our second ball players, we asked them to kind of adjust based on what they see, and it's Kessa's first game back, and so it would be very easy for a player that's not been playing to not be paying attention to the set pieces and the setups, but Kess was locked on, and then a really composed finish. We see a lot of players blow balls over the top from that range, and she gets in and makes sure she puts it on frame and makes sure it gives us a chance, and the ball ends up in the back of the net. So really, again, two really good goals. And then we created some outstanding opportunities outside of that as well, so it was really good performance.
You talked about Kess Elmore. I mean, big deal. You talk about getting healthier. It's a big deal to have her
She's
back.
a good player. She is a really, really good player. We got her to transfer, and we were so excited about her. And I thought she had a really, really good first year with us. And then, she had an excellent spring. And, unfortunate that she tweaked something in pre-season. It set her back a little bit, but she's worked incredibly hard to get back to this point. She's back on the kind of front part of, when we thought she were back. And that's because she's been diligent with her recovery and down in the training room and taking care of those pieces.
I wanted to stick on the health front. Croy Soto back for you as well. How about that?
Yeah, we played Croy up high. She obviously plays in the back typically for us, but we was not wanting to disrupt the back line. We told Croy, we're going to play as a forward, and she scores a lot of goals in training. So she was ecstatic, but she nearly scored. She got one-on-one with the goalkeeper and nearly scored. So so Croy was ecstatic about that. But it was just great to get the both of them back healthy and playing.
Now, all right, every fan wants me to ask you, you're getting healthier, Coach. That's got to be a good thing, right? You feeling healthier?
Me or the team?
The team? Everybody? You too, I guess. I don't know. Gosh. Is your blood pressure a little lower now that you're getting players back?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, a little bit. I was a little bit stressed at one point. I thought we have to do the old open tryouts on campus.
Shoot.
But what was that movie? Was it Invincible when they were with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Might do one of those. Find one of those guys. Or what did they just do on ESPN with Penn State? What was it? The football one with Eli Manning.
You're out of my.
You haven't seen
zone.
that?
No.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
I just had a kid, Coach. I'm not seeing anything right now.
We could have been recruiting your kid already. So.
Shoot. Is that how early it's going now?
It is.
Gosh.
What was the original question?
I don't remember.
Let's keep going.
I don't remember. You're getting healthier though. Team getting
healthier. Yeah.
Are you healthier?
I'm healthier. I'm good. Cup of coffee in the morning, and you know that.
Espresso in the afternoon.
Before. I just picked one up on the way back from the Oregon Club.
Told you. How was Oregon Club?
Awesome. Yeah, I love talking to those guys, and again, coming off of such a great weekend for the entire department, it was fun to go talk to those guys.
Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach, joining us. I got to ask you about Leah Freeman. 14 saves, most by a Duck keeper in 19 years, just shy of the program record. Wow. Impressive. And the Pac-12 goalkeeper of the week, just announced by the conference today.
She made a save when I think we were 1-0 up. She made a save to her left at about the 39th, 40th minute. We're going into halftime. If you can get into halftime 1-0 up, then you get to reset and go 1-1. It's a slightly different tone. And she made a save that was about as good as it gets from a Taylor would have been recruiting for acrobatics and tumbling if she had seen it the way she's arched back to get it.
Hey, multi-sport athletes.
Hey, yeah, go for it. I mean, it was exceptional, and I hope people are enjoying watching Leah play, because those types of performances have almost become the norm now.
Yeah.
It's like you watch Brooke with volleyball, and she's exceptional at what she does, and all these other athletes that we've got here. But Leah's special in terms of what she does, and between her and the other goalkeepers, they create an incredible environment. And I've been fortunate enough to work with them this year as well, and just see that environment day to day that they put themselves in, how competitive it is, the standard they hold themselves to. And yeah, she made a save at the back end, the 1-on-1, but that save in the 39th minute, it was world class. It truly was, and so no, we're extremely proud of her, of course.
Can you put into context how impressive the number 14 is, and it's because you just talked there about how impressive some of the actual individual saves are, but just doing it routinely, how impressive is that?
I would take about 9 of those saves were just 9 to 10 of those saves were routine saves. They were
the defense did its job.
Yeah,
right?
they were part of the game plan. Let's let them shoot from 30 yards out. You know, we have good goalkeepers in the program, so they're not going to, you know, they'll do well from that range. It's going to take something special to beat them. But it's the stuff once you get within, you know, the 12 to 15 yard range, and you know, essentially like the red zone in football, right? You know, that's the goal scoring range in there, and for her to make those types of saves. You know, we've spoken in the past couple of years with her, you know, when you make those saves, can you not give up a rebound? And now she's not giving up the rebound. She's either getting rid of it out of the area, you know, giving away the set piece, so be it. But not only are the saves that she was making, her distribution was exceptional. I thought how she controlled the space between her and the back line was exceptional as well. So, yeah, very, very good performance.
So is that the next evolution for most, like, young goalkeepers that come in as freshmen? That's sort of the next step? The
shot-stopping piece is actually the easy piece. Mm-hmm. How you control the line, how you control the space behind your back line, how you control service from wide areas. I think there's a lot of kind of habits that come in from youth soccer that are not good. They hug the near post, and so how they're able to sit essentially like a quarterback in a pocket in the middle of the goal and be comfortable in that pocket and control those spaces. That's the evolution for goalkeepers at the next level, and she's getting there now.
You touched, too, on you didn't want to break up the chemistry of your back line.
Yep.
Feel really good about your defense right now?
Yeah, you know, they're starting to click into rhythm, and you know, Chai and Anna, you know, they're so experienced, Anna Phillips, and you know, Bell and Anna Imparada on that side, and Ainsley's been in there as well, and Meg Rook has been in there as well, so they're starting to look more like an Oregon back line now in terms of how they're performing as well, hard to break down. And so, again, you know, another good team performance.
I know you're big on recovery as a coach in general. Having one game gave you a chance to do that, work on a few things?
Yeah, health, you know, physically and mentally as well. You know, we've got school starting tomorrow. So, again, it's those changes that happen at this time of the year that can affect us. So, having the kids just being able to take the foot off the gas a little bit, spend time with family, decompress a little bit. We don't get, you know, it's probably the last opportunity for us, really. You know, now we're into Pac-12 play to decompress, so able to take that time. And we've been running the same, you know, 14, 15 kids now for a few weeks, so giving them a break as well, and that'll allow us to get a good practice in tomorrow before we start prepping for UCLA.
There you go, UCLA coming up. Thursday, 7 o'clock, it's on Pac-12 Insider here at Pat Bay Field. KWVA's got the call as always, and then USC noon on Sunday. Tell us about the LA schools. They're usually not bad.
Yeah, they're good schools. I mean, UCLA #1, you know, unbeaten. Yeah,
no big deal.
Unbeaten so far. I mean, the big thing I would say, you know, if I go back to Friday, the atmosphere we had at Pape on Friday was the best it's been since I was here. You know, we had students come over from the orientation, from Otson, and we had an unbelievable people in the community come out, and it was a real home field advantage. The first one that we've had since I've been here, and I can remember. It was noisy, it was fun, our kids reacted to it, and we need to do that more because we have a program that is now competing and a program that's getting after it. We have really good players that people can come out and watch, and so we want to see that more. And what a great opportunity. Home football weekend this weekend, and we're playing the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, home football weekend, and you mentioned the opponent. I mean, that adds something, right? That should you want the home field advantage when it's a #1 team coming in.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we want to make Eugene a tough place to come play, you know what I mean? And everybody complains about the field turf as it is, so let's jump on top of that piece and go for it. So
home field advantage.
Home field advantage. That's what it's all about.
I like it. Well, what are the focuses this week? What are you working on in practice, getting ready for this matchup?
We're gonna have to defend well in wide areas. You know, as always, every team I think is able to get into wide areas, try to cross the ball. You know, both these LA schools could come in central as well in terms of combining. So we're gonna have to make sure in the final third we're taking care of those pieces, making sure we're able to control the ball as well when we get on the ball. You know, whether that's out of transition or just building out of our organized attack, making sure that we're able to keep possession of the ball when we need to. And then when we do get into the final third, getting into the areas where we want to get into. You know, and then, you know, not just taking shots for the sake of taking shots, but getting into the right areas where we can create legitimate goal scoring opportunities.
He's Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach. It's a big week, coming off a win over then number 15 Washington. They ain't number 15 anymore. UCLA Thursday, 7 o'clock at Pape Field. We'll see you there. And then, of course, Sunday at noon against USC. Volleyball's in action 6 o'clock on Friday before football in action 8 o'clock on Saturday. It's a good weekend for the Ducks in Eugene.
Another big-time weekend.
Another big-time weekend. All right, I have to leave you with this. Have you ever seen Galaxy Quest?
No.
Okay.
Did I just crush you right there?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen the ESPN thing with Eli Manning, so there you go. I crush you and you crush me back. So
that's fair. Well, neither is Milano, so we're gonna fix
What
that.
was going to be your question?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
He's Graeme Abel, Oregon soccer head coach. I was about to say, watch, don't worry. I bet our volleyball coach hasn't seen it either, so I can't ask either of you this question.
Yeah, we're in season right now. We don't get to watch.
Yeah,
TV.
you guys can't. You guys don't have time for anything.
No.
Well,
wife has the TV on. I have the laptop.
Yeah.
That's called spending time with each other.
God, I hate that.
Athletics.
Yep. That's it in a nutshell, isn't it? Right there. 7 o'clock on Thursday. Graeme Abel and the Oregon soccer team back in action. When we come back, I promise I will tell you why I bring up Galaxy Quest on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill as we welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I said it with Coach Abel. Win over Washington, then number 15. Oregon volleyball, win over Stanford in straight sets, then number 5. Oregon track and field sweeping the Dellinger Invitational for the cross-country beginning of the season. Oregon football, 44-41 win against Washington State. Good weekend for the Ducks, huh? Your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill, Cafe Yum restaurants throughout Oregon and Washington. Special diet requests always welcome. Menus, nutrition info, cafeyum.com. You score 29 points in the fourth quarter, you're doing something right. Never give up. Never surrender. Am I right?
Give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender.
See, it's a great line. It's a great line. Ryan Milano's never seen Galaxy Quest. Ryan, put your headset on. Turn him on. Ryan called a fabulous volleyball game yesterday. So you shouldn't have watched Galaxy Quest yesterday. What are you doing tonight?
First KWVA meeting, so I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, big plans tonight.
Yeah, so you're done at 8:30?
Never give up.
I hope
Never
that
surrender.
there's enough people there that we might be around 9:30.
Okay. What time are you going to bed these days?
Yeah, I've got a lot going on, Joe. I have to wake up to be here, so...
Wake up to be here?
Never give up. Never surrender. Never give up. Never surrender.
Look, I'm not trying to give you homework. School starts tomorrow. I get it. But it's worth your time. All right? Just, Ryan,
Graeme Abel hasn't seen it either.
I know he hasn't.
Giving him homework?
I know he hasn't. And I talked to him on the way out. I said, Coach, you'd enjoy it. You should watch it. It's a good comedy hour and a half of your life. Really, really hope that we can do it. Okay. I would like your report later this week.
Okay.
On it. Thank you. Ryan Milano, though, he was on the call. You heard him, probably, for Oregon volleyball against Stanford. Good work, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Way to do your part and get that win.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Hey, I did want to take a moment and mention Oregon baseball starting fall practice. Mark Wasikowski met with the media. You might have seen it on the Goducks YouTube channel by now. We haven't had time on the show to really dive into baseball yet, but they're starting fall practice. They're doing a ton of scrimmages. One of the things that they're doing this weekend with Stanford in town for an 8 o'clock kick on Saturday. Those of you who are out tailgating, PK Park's going to be open, and it's not a coincidence that the baseball team is going to be out there playing. In fact, Mark Wasikowski even said, hey, you're out tailgating? Come on in. Watch the baseball team. I mean, what better option? It's free. Just walk through PK Park. You're going to see the Ducks hard at work. Mark Wasikowski wants to give them a little bit of an environment, and I'm in for it. I love it. I love that Waz is doing this. I think it is a tremendous idea, and fans, I hope you enjoy it. I hope PK Park is overflowing with people. I mean, it's a chance to watch a baseball game while tailgating for free. It's awesome. I love that he's doing that. We're going to hear a little bit more in detail from Waz, Gavin Grant, Tanner Smith, Isaac Aon. They all met with the media. If you can't wait till we get it on Duck Insider, don't worry. Quack Video's got you covered on the GoDucks YouTube channel. On tomorrow's show, Rob Mullins is in studio, folks. Going to talk with him about a number of different subjects. Football, volleyball, soccer, cross country. Congratulations are in order for Lisa Peterson heading to the Pac-12 conference office as a commissioner. A lot to talk about. We'll hear from Dan Lanning tonight, also tomorrow. See you then.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers